Hello Aries, thank you for joining us. This is Pastor Rosemary coming to you from ANSARA Angels Ave. This Angelscope is for both Aries Sun and Aries Moon. These are your December 2014 Christian angel answers from your Aries angel Merciful, who resides over cardinal fire. Aries leaves November behind believing, finally. I guess there is a way for everyone to agree. Now, Aries, before we get into the exact meaning that December is going to have for the Ram, I want to just read the email from the winner of the lottery who won their free answer on air. And just to give the answer now before we get started. And this is Backup Trans 31, who says, "Hi, I'm a Sag. S-A-G, I suppose that means Sag, like Sagittarius. Could mean Screen Actors Guild, I guess. And I guess that would mean that I'm blessed by Philip or the Apostle Philip, whatever you call him, in your training video. I'm a Roman Catholic," says Backup Transit 31, "and in our tradition, this Apostles' feast day is in May, on the 3rd of the month." Now the answer, we answered, "Thank you, Backup Trans 31, and basically we just want to respond that you are exactly right. We're using the Eastern Orthodox system. We're actually using Rosicrucianism, which has a lot of similarity to the Eastern Orthodox system, where it's celebrated on November 14th. But you're right that the Roman Catholic, which actually we're Roman Catholic ourselves, but we're also trained in the Rosicrucian system. So anyway, we're using the Rosicrucian system, yes. The Anglicans and the Lutherans celebrate it on the 1st of May, I believe. So you are absolutely right. And we're just simply using the Rosicrucian system simply because we have more education, formal education, in the Rosicrucian system. We have some education in the Roman Catholic system we were brought up in, but again, it's the Rosicrucian system where we learned Christian Kabbalah. So we're just using that because it's familiar, but certainly you are correct. You can use whatever you think is best, for you. Okay, now continuing, but thank you for establishing rapport, and that was a great question. We really enjoyed that. Okay, now for the Ram in the month of December, Aries, this is the transmission from Merciful. Aries, your Christian angel Merciful wants you to take a look at your half Ram, half human attributes or nature, which can give you both the enthusiasm as well as the genius to see the Ram's cardinal fire nature satisfied this month of December. So just trying to let you know, your angel's trying to let you know that your need to understand that, yes, we're all human. However, you have those ram's horns. And sometimes that might make you feel like you're butting heads against things. Or the people are, trying to lock horns with you, so to speak. Now, Aries should take particular note, continuing with the transmission, of the sun shining its faint light in the northern hemisphere on the sign of the Apostle Philip. This is the Rosicrucian system, Christian Kabbalah, known as Sagittarius the Archer, taking an exact measure of the high trajectory of the Chiron moon, or cold moon. And that's going to be on the 6th of December. And it's at 12:27 UTC, or that's Coordinated Universal Time. It's the same time that's in London. So this month we have a Chiron moon, Achilles moon, or a cold moon. Now, the sun will be oppositely low in the sky with midwinter, bringing what is known as the Achilles moon, like we just said, or the long night moon, obviously, because it's the winter solstice that we're going to be running into here. So beloved in the ancient legends, where Achilles is known to have decapitated Apollo to rescue Helen of Troy, the Selene moon. If you reside in the southern hemisphere, though this is important, if you reside in the southern hemisphere, Aries, the solar and lunar behavior of your chart will be reversed, and therefore much hot temper excitement will fly high in these regions, undampened by the cold wetness of the moon and whipped into a temperamental frenzy by the peaking of the sun. So the angel Machidel is just trying to let you know, Aries, here, that your angel wants you to know that if you're in the southern hemisphere, it's going to be different than if you're in the northern hemisphere, because what the sun and the moon are doing are going to be switched around, yeah? So you have to make, it's going to really, he's saying that it's going to really increase your, it's going to increase really your mind's, I want to say intelligence, but it's not really your intelligence like mercurial intelligence. It's more your martial intelligence. It's not really from your survival instinct. It's more, I know what it is. He's showing me a scenario like a war scene, like studying strategies of chess, or just basically strategies that are military strategies, like military school, that kind of thing. You know, there's all kinds of different ways, you know, different cultures that have their different war strategies. But that's what you're going to be, maybe not needing so much to study, but you're going to be very good at in December, and that will help you quite a bit. Okay, continuing now with the transmission from Machidel. This is where Christian astrocartography, we were instructed to place this in our video, because this is something that's very important. Not only where you're born, but where you live now matters, and where you might want to move. This is where Christian astrocartography comes in handy to understand both your behavior and the behavior of those you love. We are experts in the science of Christian astrocartography, Aries, and we are. So stay tuned. Aries, your mind and thought patterns are being cooked, continuing with the transmission, by divine providence and Jesus Christ, who is the great alchemist of the universe, through the planetary influences of your chart this month. Now, what Machidel's transmission here was, it's pristine. The angel of the Lord came through here because he didn't want to make that clear to everyone. That, you know, who is Jesus Christ? Why is he the king of the universe? It's because he's the great alchemist. He is the great universal alchemist who puts you through the varying, what we do to a piece of gold if we want to make it into a monoatomic. We utilize various forms, you know, of breaking down the atoms until they're, you know, well, it's hard to get it's hard to get just one, you know, atom. You have, you know, it's usually going to be clumps of atoms or three. But anyway, monoatomic, we usually get, I believe, diatomic. It's very hard with gold to get monoatomic. However, moving right along. Now, so what we're trying to say is what an alchemist has to do to a piece of gold to get a di or a monoatomic element is what Jesus does to you. So if you feel like you're being put through various torments, you know, they're done to bring out your purity and heal you and heal everyone around you. And if you trust the great universal alchemist, Jesus Christ, you will be brought to your perfection and your immortality. Okay, now continue with the transmission from Machidel. Rams in the northern hemisphere will find themselves in the alchemical stage of the bain-marie, which is a soothing bath meant to derive all the mercury of your spirit. Your best traits to be put aside for use when it becomes necessary for the edification of others who will need your gifts of luminous light. So this month, one of the, again, this is in the, okay, this is the northern hemisphere where the Bain Marie is going to be soothing for Aries. Now, this is going to be different for people, what Nachidel wants to say here, it's going to be different for people in the southern hemisphere. So continuing here with the transmission, this is the process of your body of light becoming even more distinct. Aries, the Bain Marie. Now, Aries persons residing in the southern hemisphere will undergo the alchemical substage of calcination, held within the sublime main stage of dissolution, where the great alchemist called the Lord Jesus Christ will submit your ego to, your ego and will to his, thankfully, in a manner that is more soothing rather than painful. So it'll be harder for you, Aries, if you live in the southern hemisphere, because the sun's peaking and the moon's down. If you're in the northern hemisphere, it'll be a little bit easier for you, Aries, because the moon is peaking in the north and the sun's, and it's low, going to go below the horizon. So it's going to make a difference. You still are in. You're still going through an alchemical process of dissolution, the second stage of alchemy, but you're going to be more in the first stage of dissolution, calcination, if you're in the south. And that's what does that mean? That means it's going to attack your ego. Your ego won't be so attacked, Aries, if you're living in the northern hemisphere. If you're living in the southern hemisphere, your ego is going to be assaulted, and it's going to be assaulted bad, but there's going to be a little bit of that Bain Marie or dissolution stage that'll be a little comforting. Now, continue with the transmission. Use the intelligence of the Apostle Philip to bring peace to your mind and your life, Aries. Meditate on John chapter 14, verse 8. Lord, show us the Father, and that will be enough for us. And that, might just mean, well, just the gold without the monoatomic form of it. Probably what that means. But continuing, the Father is God consciousness associated with water. Philip means lover of horses. Horses are associated with water and also with the Horsehead Nebula in the constellation of Orion, where the Messiah is meant to come through into our dimension to elevate us. Don't forget to recognize your fellow fire sign buddies of Sagittarius the Archer, whose birthday, boy or girl, from November 22nd through December 22nd. So don't forget, to give us birthday greeting and gifts to your Archer friends and family. Continuing with the transmission, the goddess Sekhmet, from the ancient Egyptian system, which started all of this sort of Christianity, the goddess Sekhmet takes over from the god Wadjet this month, with her warlike influence being felt through the 26th of the month in the ancient Egyptian astrological system. So, because you're ruled by Mars, Aries, you're going to really feel this. Especially you Aries ladies are really going to feel it. Well, although, yada yada, the god comes through the female body, the goddess comes through the male body, so I guess the male, one in a male body, will feel the goddess Sekhmet, and the women in the female body will feel the god Wadjet. Can't remember how to say his name right. Alright, so just know that. A lot of war kind of instincts. Now, Aries, you're continuing here. Your ruling planet of Mars is highly susceptible to the steely and sharp precision of modern warfare, which includes both code writing abilities and pure king of the mountain instincts. Hot temperamental anger no longer wins wars, luckily, for war is not the same as it once was. The sign of Cancer, the crab, will be elevated in your life this month, Aries. If you live in the northern hemisphere, due to the moon riding high on the horizon in December, because it's ruled by the moon. For rams living in the southern hemisphere, your Leo the Lion cohorts will be peaking, although attempting to shine their solar disk on Sagittarius for obvious seasonal reasons. Now, rams who reside in the northern hemisphere will find that their Leo the Lion friends and romantic interests will be tucked away safely under the horizon, where the sun god awaits his quick rebirth after a 3-day sojourn in the depths of the Tuat region. These kings under the mountain must not be underestimated. This is serious. Due to their soon-to-quicken solar aspects, regaining influence as the sun once more climbs in ascendancy up into the cold skies above the horizon. Under the earth, they have found various types of radioactive stone, the very one used by the Lord Jesus Christ to create the universe, casting down into matter, into the creation of the third dimensional realm. No matter what hemisphere you live in, Aries, enjoy the Christmas festivities, and again, don't forget to put a wreath upon your door, and be sure to carry a properly chopped down pine tree through the door to be dressed and bear gifts for you and those you love. If you want fertility and prosperity, to bring the ram much abundance. This ritual has been, they've tried to do away with this ritual. Do you want to know why? Why do they want to do away with Christmas? Those who hate Christmas so much and call it a pagan ritual, you know why? Because it makes you rich and fertile. It makes you have children. It makes you have land. It makes your crops grow. It makes your gardens grow. It gives you clean water. It makes your coffers of money grow. It makes your business grow. If you do this ritual, put the wreath on the door, and through that very door you bring the Christmas tree in, one that was chopped down and properly sacrificed, so that an animal doesn't have to be sacrificed. If you do that, you are going to have a lot of success and abundance and health and abundance and wealth and property, everything you need, and family, and you won't be barren. They're getting rid of Christmas, and then they're going to use their own regeneration rituals, which they're not going to teach you, the people telling you not to do it. So make sure you do these rituals. They're not pagan. They're born from Egypt, born from the first Christians. Because Christ means he who was anointed with crocodile oil, the first Pharaoh. Okay? And that's what the presidents are representing. They represent the first one, or Osiris, or the president, or Jesus Christ on the cross. That's the same thing. All right. Now, continuing with the transmission. This December, we find Scorpio bearing its seed, bringing to fruition the 23rd runestone seed Dagas within the house of Sagittarius. And we'll get to your very personal love, money, and health rune seeds in a moment here. So stay with us. Now, the rune of Dagas brings the fusion of polar opposites for Aries in December. This mixing of the twin pillars forms the morning dawn, or conversely, the twilight half-lidded eye of evening. This is a gateway for the fire of a new mind and a gatekeeper who guards his gate with Odin's eye, focusing upon runes once spied when crucified upon the Yggdrasil tree. 23 being a genetic mixing point, very important, a genetic mixing point in all scientific disciplines. Those closest to Aries form into the icy pillar of the 11th runestone seed Isa when it comes to Aries love matters this month. Who you want to keep your eye on this month, Aries, is Aries, keep Odin's eye on the one closest to you, not a stranger, this month. So you got to watch out for it, the one closest to you. And guess what? The one closest to you is yourself and your own ego. It's true for all of us. Okay, Aries love matters. We want to focus that it forms the icy pillar again, to reiterate, of the 11th runestone seed Isa, bringing a need for self-awareness and quiet meditation upon true inner desires rather than isolating one's self from love due to fear of being revealed as more human than a charging ram. So what Nachidel is saying here, Aries, is that, it's nice to be feared. People would rather be feared than loved. Most people would, because only in fear does one get respect, because fear and respect are the same thing. You only respect people you fear. That's the way it goes. People you love, you take for granted. People that love you, you take for granted. People you fear, people who don't love you, people you fear, or if you think if you can make people fear you, well, then, then they're going to respect me, and I'm going to get money and all the things that go with, all of that. Wasn't it Stalin who said, pluck the chicken, tortured it, and then it would never leave his side? There's some truth to this. But even people who are able to do these kind of things have a soft side. Everybody has this rough side, but everybody has a soft side too. Some people more than others. So basically, what does Isa mean for you? What Nachida El is trying to say here is that you're going to be tempted this month to let your heart out. And the best thing to do, as always, is to temper your compassion with justice and temper your justice with compassion. Very simple. And try not to let them get your goat. They will, but try not to let them. Because, the ram and the goat, not that much difference. Now, continue with the transmission from Machida El. Concern over being wrong or found out to be part of a larger universal whole, with all involved synthesizing and less unique, will cause Aries great concern this month when it comes to love. Allow a bit of merging into the larger whole and allow others their honor to find December less embittered. Again, self-reflection rather than isolation will do wonders for the ram in December. Now, this is important. It's very important. It's just, Aries, allow others their honor. That's a very important thing. If you don't allow others their honor and you constantly try to belittle them, you're not going to have any luck when it comes to love. You'll have your family and you have your friends, but you're not going to have luck in love if you belittle people. Allow people their honor. Allow them a little bit of honor and respect. Or, if you try to embarrass people all the time, you might think you're defending yourself, but all you're doing is making them angry with you and not want to deal with you. And it's not going to serve you in the long run. Okay, now continuing, Aries. Aries, money matters. This month expresses the 6th runestone seed of Canaz, which is where the big bang happens for the ram in December. This is creative fire, creating love for the financial arena, bringing entrepreneurship more fully back into your life, Aries. December is a good kickoff point and certainly not the end game for these endeavors, but the month will prove to be a very good start if the ritual fires are controlled and tended along with the performance of the aforementioned Christmas regeneration ritual. So don't forget the tree coming through the door with the wreath on it. Don't forget it, because they want you to not do it, the regeneration ritual. They'll do their own, and they're telling you not to celebrate Christmas. Why? Because they don't want you to win. All right. Now, Aries, Health matters. Your angel Melchiel is a little angry. So, Aries health matters coagulate the 22nd runestone seed of Ingwaz for Aries in December. You are pregnant with opportunity and ideas. If you resist the urge to waste your valuable time trying to rescue or be the hero to others this month, don't try to be the hero. Be a friend or a lover or whatever you actually are involved with these people, or be a business associate. Don't try to be a hero or rescue people. The sun riding high in the sky is going to make you do that because of the way it's going to go through the path of Teth, and it's going to affect Mars. So, you know, it's like a little formula. It's going to make you want to be the soldier that rescues everyone. Like Full Metal Biatch, right? It's what it's going to do to you. Whether you're a man or woman, it's not going to matter. You're going to want to rescue everybody. So rather than try to rescue people, rescue, yourself. Let the Christ part of you rescue the other parts of you that need rescued. You all have a Christ self. It's your pineal. What the unicorn represents, the white unicorn with the horn. So just do that. Rescue, allow the Christ in you to rescue the rest of you. And tend to your own needs. And with other people, be a friend of friends. Be a lover to your lovers. Be a business associate to your business associate. If you're a client, be a client. If you're a boss, be a boss. Be what you are. Act the part, the role. And you'll do well. Okay. Now, again, you're pregnant with opportunity and ideas. This savior complex. You are a hero. You are a hero, Aries. But this month, you will get further in life if you allow someone else to rescue you. Attempts to save the hopelessly lost will bear you no fruit. It won't work. Trust me, it won't work. Well, trust your angel, Melchiel. Continuing, the Ram will find that the entire month of December is straightforward and pinpointed, granting much luck if your focus is kept on point, avoiding rigidity. You have to be a little more fluid, a little less rigid. Enjoy yourself this Christmas season and eat smart but well this month for your health, vitality, vim, and vigor. Be wise, be well, be all you are meant to be, Aries. Your divine tone of I am follows your heart into the depths of the underworld in December to find where your treasures are buried. Thank you for joining us, Aries, and join us again next month.